SOS. Sean, how are you? And now it's the new year. What's the latest news with Vet SOS? I know people are really excited, and more people you talk to look at how much Alan Porter, when you were on Strategic Wealth Strategies podcast, how excited he is about this adventure. Kind of get into it specifically and what's happening.
Thanks again for having me on, Neil. Yeah, 2025, I'm expecting to be a huge year for us as a organization. Um, first things first, we're looking to expand into some additional areas. So we're working with some authors right now to actually do some book deep dives, books specific to the transition space, things like that. So authors who have written books that impact our community that are trying to transition out of the military, we're going to hopefully have this multi-part series where you're actually deep diving into these books, and we're bringing on another very talented person to run that piece of it. And of course, there's a couple other shows we're looking at, so hopefully that'll start to materialize. And of course, trying to make that transition from an LLC to a 501(c)(3), and launch, Vet SOS again as a nonprofit to where we can work on continuing to bring all this great information, educating the veteran population on what's available out there for them, expanding the things we do, but then also adding a web-based solution where every veteran and veteran spouse can tell their transition story, which I think is just going to be hugely impactful for our community.
Absolutely. It's exciting. It's a great thing that's happening, Sean, and you just got to continue to get going. So when do you think the whole thing is going to be processed? What are you predicting the time where finally you are 501(c) for both brands? When is that happening?
Well, I have no idea how long it'll take for the paperwork to be approved, but I got to deal with the government on that piece. But
Oh boy.
I definitely want to have everything submitted here first quarter. Have a board in place, have people on board who want to be a part of this and help us move forward. And then we're hoping that at the latest by mid-year we have the web-based solution where people can start coming on and telling their story. We can truly build an amazing database of transition stories that are going to help so many more.
I think it's fantastic, and that's the exciting part of this process. Okay, so let's talk about, I guess, goals for the year. When you're sitting in 2025, what do you want to sit down by the end of 2025, and where do you want to see the foundation?
I would like to see a lot more followers and subscribers, to the podcast. We have a huge population of people in the veteran community, and I would definitely like to see our numbers increase in that aspect. Just so that we know that we're spreading the reach and sharing the information further and further. And that's number one. Number two, that the foundation is operational and building this database of information, and then from there we can start to pull analytics and see where we're sitting and the impact that we're having with it, and where that expansion or changes may need to occur.
Okay, then so I love that goal. Is there any other major goals for you? Like, let's say by the end of the year, you get everything set up, you're talking about downloads and all that stuff, but what about the how many transition stories do you hope to have the fundraising done by the end of this year?
So I estimate that we will easily be pulling in 1,000 transition stories a month once this web-based solution is up and running, if not much, much more. So let's say we're up by June. That's 6 solid months of recording. So we're at least at 6,000. So I would estimate between 6 and 10,000 transition stories by the end of the year, having this large database of information that people can pull from and learn from, and even help them make it through certain aspects. And ultimately, that translates to me into bringing in the right sponsors, the right strategic partners to be a part of this to help the veteran community as a whole.
Okay, that's exciting for sure. And do you have a personal goal for yourself in that SOS? Like some.
So
Mhm.
personally, I've dedicated 2025 to myself in the sense that I want to get myself back right spiritually, mentally, and physically. So, working on the physical side of it, getting back in the gym and things like that, mentally continuing to grow and improve myself in that aspect. And then, of course, spiritually getting back into church and getting right with God. And so, personally, I have that goal for myself. And then, obviously, continuing to give back to the family. Like many veterans will tell you, we feel like we neglected the family for years, and it's their time now, and making sure that we give back to them and pour into as much as we can and really help them, especially as I got my youngest in high school now and dealing with, a freshman and all the joys that come with that.
All right. Best place to go, vetsospodcast.com.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and at one point it will be vetsos.com as well. Can you get that or not?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that one. There is a veterinary service that's had that for years.
So, you know what? We have to take them out. You got to call them right now and say, sell it for $1. Come on now. Just
There
kidding.
you
But I appreciate it, Sean. Thanks again.
go. All right. Have